Welcome back, guys. Today's video we're gonna talk about leveling an alt character. So mostly when you have progressed through the end game with the previous character, maybe you cleared all the bosses and just feel bored with the current character. Maybe you're an alcoholic like me and you want to always try new skills and items, especially the new unique items. This is why I made this one. I want to try the new javelin uniques. Especially with Void Knight. Anyway, we're gonna cover gear setups for new characters from level 1 to level 50 basically. We just need 1 or 2 sets and then you can just complete with whatever you find. We're gonna cover leveling paths, how to skip most of the campaign through the dungeons. And let's just jump right into it. So the very first step when you start a new character is to go through the first 2 zones, Old Road and Burning Forest. So you will have basically just your base items and maybe a few drops, but really don't sweat it. Do not try to clear a lot of mobs or level up or whatever. Just get to Keeper's Camp. Because in Keeper's Camp you will access your stash. And in your stash we have our leveling items ready, hopefully. If you don't have those, I suggest you grind a bit of Merchant Faction, so that you can buy specific unique items. So level 3, it will be very, very fast. And then on your leveled up character, you can buy a few items you want. So here they are ordered by level. Let's just put that one here. The most important, that one is very nice because it gives you haste on hit and increased effect of haste from sources. You don't need a legendary one, I just crafted this one. But the good stats are health and mana for all classes. Strength was just, well, there was strength from the thing. But yeah, basic stats. Try not to get unique, like class-specific affixes, like this totem damage, because then you won't be able to equip it, if I remember correctly, on other classes. So it will be quite bad to waste your legendary leveling gear. My favorite weapon is this one, because it inflicts spreading flames and gives quite a lot of fire damage all the time. You don't need to do a fire skill to apply this, it's any hit from you. So that clears a lot, it is a lot of damage base, the spreading flame thing. I don't know what's the base damage, but it will give you a lot of damage and clear because it spreads, obviously. This one is nice because it gives you some ignite chance on elemental skills and some leech from all your fire damage. These rings give you a lot of movement speed, so you can get 8 plus 10, so up to 18% per ring. So you can get 2 of them if you want. These can be nice for the first few levels, especially if you're a legendary potential. I haven't bothered, but there you go. And if you want a melee weapon, there's this one, or this one, which I haven't crafted. This one scales a bit, but not too much, because with damage per level. Hey, I forgot to move my camera while recording this part, so I'm re-recording it. So for these items, continuing with fire and ignite, you've got this one if you have a fire skill. And if you don't, then you have fire damage instead. This one gives elemental leech as health and elemental resistances, which is nice. This I rarely use, honestly, but if you want a shield temporarily, there's this one. The scavenger belt, it can grant you haste when you use a potion, and that's quite nice when you have to run through an area, without enemies, where Kestrel won't proc because you need to hit things. You can get some weapons. This one, level 13, has a lot of bleed-related fixes, which are really nice if you want to go bleed. It works really well, so you just apply some bleed and then run, and the enemies die behind you. This one is also nice if you want a lot of melee damage. Keep in mind you take a few more damage taken, but you also have some movement speed, always nice. All the erased items at level 15 are also very good. There's boots also at level 16, which grant haste and less damage and some ward with haste. These gloves are nice for both melee and spell builds. We also have like gloves for throwing attacks. I don't have them right now, I haven't leveled the throwing attack build, but throwing is a very nice way to level up, just like Ignite. Speaking of, you can replace Fire Starter Torch by this if you want later on, level 20. It will give you a lot of fire damage over time. It will give you a lot of chance to ignite on hit. And when you kill an enemy, you cremate, which spawns a burning area, which deals quite a lot of damage, so it will do more AoE. Very nice. Playing Ignite if you can, if you have a fire skill in your class, is a really good idea. I think every class can. Sentinel can, Primalist, I think it can, I'm not sure. Maybe not. Anyway, Mage can, of course. Rogue can with like Acid Flask and Thunder Strike. And Acolyte, I think, somewhat early on has some fire thing. So there's that. And don't forget that you have class-specific items like this one. It's level 6, and it gives you some chance to cast Smite on hit for any class actually. I think it works on anything. It's just that if you are a Sentinel, then you unlock Smite at 20 points, so you can spec and then have a much better one. But in very early level, the Smite procs is very nice. Especially that you get to dual wield, so it's in your second slot, and then you can get a scepter or a wand here. To talk specifically about this character, how I leveled my Sentinel, I went into Warpath. I went into these to get channel cost reduction. Then I went here to get Ignite, so that my helmet here, I forgot the name, Calamity procs my Ignite. This point is also nice. But then I wanted to go Void Knight, so I respect a bit, went into here for vehicles, and then got the Smite chance. So I have both Smites from this and from Warpathing around. So then of course Smite, full damage on hit and crit, Devouring Orb at level 35 for a lot more clear, and of course Shield Rush because it's just the best movement ability. Before you unlock for the first level, before you unlock Shield Rush, you have Lunge. Okay, that's it for gear and for Sentinel setup. Now for the leveling paths, so as I said, you start in Divine Era, you reach here, you do this whole zone, then you get teleported to Ruined Era, you go here, you do the quest you need to do in here, you will get to End of Time to unlock your mastery. What is that called, mastery? Yes, I think so. Anyway, you do that, you go back to Ruined Era, and here in the surface, you go to the Lightless Arbor dungeon. You do not do this. See, I have not bothered doing it yet. You do this dungeon, it will, once you kill the boss and go through a few levels after that, you get to Corrupted Lake. In Corrupted Lake, you get to be teleported back to Risen Lake. You can either go through, let's go there. You can either run Corrupted Lake and get the passive point and idle spot by killing the boss at the end, and then getting to this teleporter we're gonna see in a few seconds here. So the boss is somewhere around here, you kill him, and here you down at the left you click travel. The other option, you will spawn somewhere around here. Let's kill these guys. Somewhere around here, and then you have to go do this, and you can reach this quick here without killing the boss, without doing anything. And it will also get you back to the same point. which is Risen Lake in Imperial Era. Now you get two choices. One is to do the second dungeon straight away, Soul Fire Bastion. So to do that, you have to go to Fellwood and go do Soul Fire Bastion. Actually, I haven't done that because this boss is quite hard at this point, and I prefer to get a bit stronger going through the normal campaign, sort of. Then you get back to... where is that? Here? Shining Cove. And here is where you will have a third dungeon and skip the campaign. But to access it, you actually have to go up to Oracle's Abode, talk to an NPC about the Sapphire Tablet. I actually have not validated the quest. And then you go back to Shining Cove, you run through the corrupted time traveling thing, and you will find the temporal dungeon entrance. Let me just grab this while I'm at it. So in the temporal dungeon, which is in Rood Era, temporal sanctuary, that's the word. So you go through this area, as I said. You do this dungeon, and this dungeon will teleport you back to here, to Radiant Dunes, and then you get the end of the last act, basically. You go Mayelka, you go down to Slums, you go back to Oasis, and then you will progress till the boss that I forgot, the last boss of the storyline, which gives you +1 to all stats. So it's kind of important, but not super important if you don't want to do it right away. By the way, you can, right as you get your mastery, you actually have access to the Monoliths. But if you want at level 15, you can try to level up in Monoliths. It's doable. I recommend rather finishing campaign stuff to get passive points and idle slots rewards, because, well, that's mandatory. And that's pretty much it. Oh yes, so about the Soul Bastion thing, the dungeon I skipped for now, this one, it will teleport you to here. So it's not super important to skip the campaign, but it unlocks access to the Champions Gate Arena. So this is where you can try your skills on, what are they called? Man-queens, kind of? I forgot the actual word. Anyway, it's important for testing purposes, and it can also unlock you a few quests to finish your passive points and idle slots from Hioboria. On the way home from there, you can kill some bosses and do a quest here. So I think that gives you idle slots, maybe one passive, I don't remember. But yeah, just to unlock the arena and the, yes, the Endless Arena, which is a different game mode, which is useful in endgame. Now let's talk a little bit about endgame, how to progress through it, because it's still kind of leveling. You start here, of course. When you kill the boss, I recommend going Black Sun, then basically all the way to the right. Black Sun, ending the storm with Lagon, Reign of Dragons, and then you unlock those three. And here, you will kill a boss of these regions. I think the first time on your very first character you have to do all three, and then you get the Harbinger. But on my second character, you kill the Harbinger the first time if you want. So I recommend doing this, because killing the Harbinger will unlock the empowered timelines at level 100 everywhere. And once you have unlocked the empowered timelines, you have to run through the most important blessings that give stats to get the grand version of your blessings. I can't, or I can kind of see them here, but not really. Anyway, I think you know about blessings if you're trying to level up. No, character. Well, I don't think I have anything more to say. I hope I kept this kind of short. As short as possible. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you would like to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitch link. I also have a Discord server if you want to talk about Last Epoch or whatever. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!